I was reflecting on the day and I was thinking it's been quite an amazing experience. It's almost like a combination between an academic conference and a speed dating event where everybody's in and out. I think the best of the short presentations I saw had about 14 speakers, but I might have lost count. I think they did a great job of keeping it to about time with that many speakers. It's really been a tremendous day. I think that it would probably give you the same impression as me, that coming away from today you realise how much is actually happening. You may not appreciate that in the silo where you're currently sitting, but there's a lot to celebrate. And so I'm going to ask each and every one of you to just follow me in this. I'd like you to stand up. I'd like to extend your arm up like that. And now give yourself a pat on the back because you've really done a great job in starting to embed sustainability within activities at UTAS. But I will admit that I have one reservation in saying that I wonder whether we're talking to an audience of the converted. And I suppose that got brought home to me in Aidan's presentation when you were talking about some of those conversations, and I realise that's a word that's got lots of meanings within the UTAS context, with other colleagues, and where people were asking you to declare very quickly about not only what sustainability meant to you, but what was your politics in coming into this. And that got me thinking about the issue, if sustainability is not going to be a topic that we can unify us in discussion, does that mean that the only thing we can agree about is unsustainability? And if we can't develop a way of having this conversation within the academic community, that doesn't hold a lot of hope for taking the conversation further afield. This is clearly an event which has engaged people across all different disciplines, and I think that was a demonstration to me of how much sustainability resonates with people from a whole range of disciplines across the university. It was also very clear to me that what I call university operations, so that's the infrastructure and the services of the university, is a very important component to underpin this sort of initiative going forward. Because the university operations and the university infrastructure is an important resource to draw on in the spirit of the living laboratory to feed into teaching and research activities. And I forget which one of the presentations, I can't remember the author's name, but somebody was talking about the role of universities in connecting people with place, peers and staff. And for any of you who haven't read it, there's a recent report that's been released by Ernst & Young on the future of Australian universities. A very, very, I think, important document in the future of the institutions that we call home. And one of the things that document highlights is that the bricks and mortar institutions like ours face a huge threat. And if you think that's not real, then the cases that I've seen in Victoria recently, Borders bookstores, they're gone. The banks have faced fundamental changes to their businesses. The Age newspaper in Victoria 10 years ago built a printing facility at Tullamarine that was an award-winning design. That facility is going to be mothballed because of the impact of the digital revolution on newspapers. The Ernst & Young report highlights that our business is next. We're going to be under increased international competition from global providers. I think the challenge for academia, and particularly for bricks and mortar universities, is to fundamentally understand what is the value proposition we present to our students from the on-campus experience. How do we connect place, peers and staff to provide an education experience that you can't get if you go online and sign up to Harvard, MIT or Berkeley. And that is not just about the education and research that it provides, but it's about the infrastructure, it's about where we meet as academics. Again, another dimension of the discussion today was how it's bridged the discipline divide. And sustainability is unquestionably an issue and a topic that allows us to come out of our traditional discipline silos, me as a civil engineer, and talk across the discipline boundary. From a research point of view, it's very, very important that we have mechanisms and institutional structures that facilitate cross-disciplinary, transdisciplinary research in this space. My bet is that universities are probably better at doing that than the other part of the challenge, which is how do we develop institutional structures that allow us to develop multidisciplinary education initiatives in this space? I don't have an answer to that one automatically. I suspect that's a challenge that your institution's going to have to grapple with in the same way that mine will. But if we can't cross that disciplinary divide, both in terms of our research and education programs, then I don't think universities are going to deliver what the community needs out of this, which is activities that are going to underpin allowing society to make a transformation towards a more sustainable future. So thanks very much to the Tilt. I don't know what you call them. They Tilties? The people that work for Tilt. But thank you very much to them for making it possible for me to come down. And it's been a great pleasure to interact with you all over the course of today, but I hope this won't be the end of the interaction. Thank you.